All right, everybody, welcome back for another 1908 game. And the Pirates play against the Reds here today. The Reds, of course, have won 3 in a row, going from 2-14 to 5-14. Pittsburgh has lost all 3 of those games that the Reds have won, and they're in danger of sort of falling out of relevance here early. Now, we know that it's a long season and that they may come back into relevance, but we'll see what happens. This is kind of an important game for the Pirates, and here is Honus Wagner to lead this off. I was looking at Wagner. You know, if you don't look at statistics that are normalized or that include any sort of era change to them, if you just look at his raw OPS, his 1908 season was actually his second best OPS season behind his 1900 season, which is really impressive because when you look at most of the other players in either league in 1908, their 1908 seasons were usually their lowest OPS season. So interesting stuff I found out today. His first roll is a 16, and I have to put numlock on. There we go, 16 for a 26. It's a ground ball over to second base to Miller Huggins, who throws to first for the out. One away. Fred Clark up there now. Clark rolls a 45 for a 14 and will walk, and that brings up Tommy Leach with Clark on at first. The question as always is, well, do you bunt? Do you run? What do you do? We probably run with Clark. Yeah, he's got that 11, so we will run. And we get a 36 for a 33, which is not what you want. That's a line drive over to Lobert, the third baseman, who easily gets the runner doubled off at first, and we go to the bottom of the first. Admiral Schley is up there for the Reds. He rolls a 54 for a 45. It'll be a fly ball over to Wilson in right field for the first out. One away. Dode Paskert now. He rolls a 35 for a 40. It's changed to a 36. It'll just be a ball. One ball on Paskert. Next roll is a 66 for a 0, and this is followed up by a 23 for a 6. That'll be a double to right center field, and that'll bring up Rudy Holswit. Holswit up there now for the Reds after Paskert gets the first hit of the ball game. Holswit is hitting 215 with a runner on at third, and I think we're going to have him swing away instead of bunting. And he swings away and rolls a 61 for a 27, so we maybe should have bunted. That's a ground ball over to Leach, who throws to first for the out. 2 away. Mike Mitchell's up there. And he rolls a 15 for an 11. That's a base hit. It's going to score the runner, and Mitchell then gets a stolen base afterwards. 1-0 for the Reds. And man, it's just been so hard for the Pirates here in recent times. Miller Huggins up now with that runner on at second. He rolls a 32 for a 26. That'll be a ground ball over to the second baseman, Abaticio, who throws to first for the out. We go to the top of the second. Pittsburgh is down again, 1-0, and here comes Owen Wilson, who rolls a 41 for a 28. This time the ground ball is to Holswit, throws to first for the out, 1 away. Here is Abaticio, and he rolls a 16 for a 26. That's a ground ball over to Huggins, who throws to first for the out. 2 gone, and it's George Gibson. He will roll a 44 for an 8, and that's a fly ball over to center field. And it's Kane who has that for the out. We go to the bottom of the second inning. John Gansel to lead this off. Gansel rolls a 44 for a 7. That'll be a single to right, and that'll bring up Hans Lobert. So you can see that the Reds have been getting those rolls and those hits. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. But for the Pirates, there's been a lot of don't and not a lot of can. Lobert's going to bunt, and he rolls a 36 for a 33, and there is a little E-roll. It's a 53. This is out of the range. That'll be a bunt back to Willis, who turns around, throws to Wagner, covering at second for the force out. 1 away. John Kane up there. He'll bunt again. This time he rolls a 31 for a 14, and Willis doesn't have any sort of a Z or anything like it, so that ends up being a walk, despite the fact that he was up there to bunt. Runners on at first and second now with 1 out, and here is the pitcher, Andy Coakley, who also will bunt. He rolls a 26 for a 27 and strikes out, so we haven't had an actual bunt yet in this game. 2 away, and here's Admiral Schley. He rolls a 46 for a 29. That's a comebacker over to Willis, who throws to first for the out, and we go to the top of the third, still 1-0 Reds. Harry Swasina up there now, and he rolls a 46 for a 27, which is a ground ball over to Lobert at third, and he throws to first for the out, 1 away. Beals Becker comes up now, hitting 141. Man, I mean, it looks like this should be like censored, right? It's so bad. Like, there's no way major leaguers hitting that badly. Becker rolls a 24 for a 13 and strikes out, 2 away. I can tell you that's where your problem is, Pittsburgh. It's not with Wagner. Vic Willis now. And he rolls a 32 for a 26. That's a ground ball over to Huggins. The second baseman has it and throws to first for the out. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Dode Paskert here to lead things off. Paskert rolls a 12. We'll go ahead and let that one stand for a 25. And here's the little E-roll, and it's a 15. Changes that result to a 21, which means it is an error on the first baseman, Swasina. That'll bring up Rudy Holswood with the runner on at first base and nobody out. And is Paskert fast is the question. He does have those 11s, so we will hit and run. And, man, everything that can go wrong for the Pirates has been going wrong recently. Here is Holswood, who rolls a 31 for a 9. Now, with the hit and run on against the B, that means that instead of being a single, which it would have been normally, it ends up being changed to a 28, which is a ground ball over to Wagner. He throws to first for the out. Paskert moves up, but it's a good ground ball as that gets that runner where they want him to be. They have 2 chances of driving him in, and here's Mike Mitchell. Mitchell rolls a 41 for a 28, another ground ball to Wagner. That was a bad result, and the runner has to hold 2 away, and here's Miller Huggins. Huggins so far today 0 for 1. He rolls a 43 for a 29. That's a ground ball back to the pitcher, Willis, who throws to first for the out. We go to the top of the 4th, and here is Honus Wagner. Wagner rolls a 42 for a 9, and that's a single, first hit of the game for the Pirates, but the little C will get him. He's caught stealing with Clark up there. It's one of those times when, yes, I think it would be realistic for him to try to steal there. Clark rolls a 61 for a 27. That's a ground ball over to the left side. Lobert has it, throws to first for the out, 2 away. It's Tommy Leach, who rolls a 51 for a 9. There's a single over short. This time there's no little C. Second hit of the game for the Pirates. Only 5th hit of the game overall. We're in the top of the 4th. Here's Owen Wilson. He rolls a 46 for a 27. That's going to be a ground ball over to Lobert, who throws to first for the out. And we will go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 1-0 Cincinnati. John Gansel leading things off. He rolls a 34 for a 44. It's a fly ball to center field, and Becker has it for the out, 1 away. Hans Lobert rolls a 45 for a 14, and that's a walk. He's got a little S. I don't know if you can see that very well or not, but he's got a little S next to the 14, and that means the automatic steal of second. That'll bring up John Kane. A lot of people don't like the automatic steals, and I definitely can understand why. We're actually going to have Kane swing away. But they're very helpful for a replayer because it means that you don't have to sit around thinking about, oh, well, how often have I stolen with this guy? Would this be a realistic situation or not? Blah, blah, blah. Instead, you just let it happen, and you just let it take care of itself. Kane up there now rolls an 11 for a 0. Good thing we let him swing away. Holy cow. Next one's a 46 for a 6. That's going to be a double. That'll score the runner, and it's 2-0 Reds. And here's Andy Coakley, runner on at second base. Coakley will also swing away. Let's see what happens. And he rolls a 55 for a 23. So that means that the runner, Lobert, is out trying to, Kane is out trying to steal third, which is ill-advised, and Tommy Leach ends up being injured as he was spiked on that one. And so Coakley's still at bat. We're going to have to change the player in the field here for the Pirates. And let's see who they have. So he's gone from bad to worse. Now, we're not going to honor the old, he's out for 3 games or whatever thing. Charlie Starr is going to come in and play third. So we're not going to worry about that. We'll have them back to full health tomorrow because we have real-life transactions turned on. Remember that. Yeah, kind of bad luck for the Pirates. Here's Andy Coakley, and he rolls a 32 this time for a 26. It's a ground ball to Abaticio, throws to first for the out. We go to the top of the 5th. So Charlie Starr and Honus Wagner in the game at the same time, which I know probably did happen in real life, but interesting because Starr was Wagner's replacement. Abaticio rolls a 63 for a 31. It's a fly ball to center field, and Kane has it for the out, 1 away. That's why I say, if you're talking about wins above replacement, in Wagner's case, you're talking about how much better he was than Charlie Starr, who was the replacement level player. George Gibson rolls a 41 for a 28. There's a ground ball over to shortstop. Holswood has it and throws to first for the out, 2 away. You might say, well, that's not what WAR is supposed to tell you, and it's not what WAR is supposed to tell you, but I would argue that that's much more interesting than what WAR actually tells you. Harry Swasina rolls a 13 for a 41. That's changed to 40. It's going to be a foul. 1 strike on Swasina. That's a 31 for a 37, changed to 36 for a ball. So 1-1 the count now. It's like we're playing Diamond Mine again. This time the roll is a 56 for a 34. There's a little E roll that goes along with it. 65 is way out of the range. That's a pop-up over to the shortstop, Holswood. That is going to do it for the top of the 5th. Go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's 2-0 Reds, and Admiral Schley, the leadoff hitter, believe it or not, is leading it off. He's leading off for the Reds because nobody's hitting except for him. He rolls a 14 for a 43. Fly ball to left field. Clark has that for the out, 1 away. Dode Paskert up there now rolls a 54 for a 45. There's the little E roll. It's a 45 way out of the range. There's a fly ball to the right fielder, Wilson. 2 gone. Rudy Holswood is now up there, and he rolls a 15 for an 8. That's a little fly ball over to the center fielder, and Kane has that. Becker has that for the out. We go to the top of the 6th inning, still 2-0 Reds. Beals Becker will lead this off. And a little bit of dance with the dice gives us a 42 for a 30. Fly ball over to Pasker for the first out, 1 away. Vic Willis now rolls a 43 for a 29. That's a comebacker to Coakley. Throws to first for the out. 2 gone. And here is Honus Wagner. Wagner rolls a 35 for an 8, and he gets his single and then is caught stealing again. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Was Honus Wagner really caught that many times in stealing in 1908? It's hard to tell because we don't actually have the statistics, but I do kind of trust what Bill's been able to come up with here in Skeetersoft. So I would say, yeah, probably. It's probably close enough. Mike Mitchell here, bottom of the 6th, rolls a 54 for 45, and here's the little E roll, 43 out of the range. Fly ball over to Wilson in right field, and he has that for the out, 1 away. It's been quiet all of a sudden. Miller Huggins rolls a 44 for an 8, and that's a fly ball over to center field, and Becker's got it for the out, 2 away, and here's John Gansel. Rolls a 26 for a 27. This time it's a ground ball over to Charlie Starr with his first chance, and he throws to first for the out. We go to the top of the 7th. Fred Clark leads this off, and he rolls a 65 for a 35. That's a pop-up foul over to Lobert, the third baseman, 1 out. Here's Charlie Starr, who hits 167 so far. We haven't used him that much. This time he rolls a 66, though, for a 6, and there's a double to right center field, and that's actually kind of a key hit and a key moment of this ball game. That'll bring up Owen Wilson with the runner on at second base, only 1 out. We'll have him swing away, as I think he should, and he rolls, a 35 for a 13 and strikes out. So second strikeout of the game for Andy Coakley, 2 away now for Abaticio, and suddenly that double is not quite as exciting. And Abaticio rolls a 16 for a 26. That's a ground ball over to Miller Huggins, throws to first for the out. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and let's see what the Reds have in store for us. 8 hits total in this game. Hans Lobert up there rolls a 51 for an 8, and that's a ground ball over to Honus Wagner. Throws to first for the out, 1 away. John Kane now rolls a 52 for a 27. That is a ground ball over to Charlie Starr, who throws to first for the out. 2 gone. Andy Coakley is up, and he rolls a 22 for a 9, and that's a single over short. So Coakley ends up 1 for 3 today, and that'll bring up Admiral Schley at the top of the order with a runner on at first, hit number 5 for the Reds. Schley with a 41 for a 28 hits a ground ball again over to Honus Wagner, who goes to first for the out, and we go to the top of the 8th inning. George Gibson now is the batter for the Pirates, who have 6 outs left. Gibson rolls a 25 for an 8. There's a single to left center field, hit number 5. Remember, Honus Wagner has 2 of those hits, and that'll bring up Harry Swasina. Now, what do? I mean, do you swing away and risk the double play? You don't really want to bunt with him, though, because you're down by 2. It doesn't help you. Rolls a 23 for a 32. Fly ball over to right field, and Mitchell has it for the out, 1 away. And here's Beals Becker. It doesn't matter in the end. Becker rolls a 23 for a 32. Another fly ball to right field. There's 2 away. And here's Vic Willis. We'll let him hit for himself. And he rolls a 14 for a 43. That'll be a fly ball quietly over to Kane in center field. So the Pirates do go down quietly. We maybe should have been bunting instead. It's hard to tell, but the most you get out of that maybe's a run. You probably just get 2 good bunts and then a fly ball to center. Dode Paskert here, bottom of the 8th. Let me know what you would do. Paskert rolls a 32 for a 26. It's a ground ball over to the second baseman. Abaticio throws to first for the out, 1 away. Rudy Holsworth up there now rolls a 46 for a 29. That one goes back to Willis, who goes to first with it, 2 away, and it's Mike Mitchell. And he rolls a 12 for a 24. It's a ground ball to Honus Wagner. Throws to first for the out. We go to the top of the 9th. 2-0 Reds going to the top of the 9th. Honus Wagner leads this off, and he rolls a 13 for a 14, and he will walk. That'll bring up Fred Clark, and it's hit and run time. No question about this. Coakley hanging in there. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 8 innings pitched, only 5 hits given up. This rolls a 64 for a 13 with the hit and run on. That means that Wagner, no matter how fast he is thrown out, and it's a strike him out, throw him out. That's the way it's been for the Pirates here. They're about to lose their 4th in a row. Charlie Starr is all that is standing between them and losing 4 in a row. Now, did you think that was going to happen? Look at this. Starr was hitting like 160-something. Now he's up to 231 after getting a single hit. That's what happens when you only have 15 plate appearances. And he rolls a 21 for a 30. It's a fly ball over to left field. And the left fielder, Paskert, has that for the out. And the Reds have done it. They've won their 4th in a row, 6th of the season. The Pirates are 11-9. And the National League is starting to look like a 2-team race, 2-horse race between the Cubs and the Giants. And we'll see what happens there. Final score again, 2-0, 10 hits in this one. This is 1908 action for you. And I will talk with you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.